All right, this is Mr. Giles with some pixel art tips and tricks in Paint.net. We're going to go real quick, so follow along if you're following along. Tip 1 is huge. Use guidelines. This will make the process of creating your pixel art exactly much easier to do, and here's what I mean. For this tip, I'm going to use this picture here of the smiley face. So to create a grid line, first I'm going to just count what is the actual grids for this picture. And I'm going to take my mouse and just count down the rows and then across the columns. So the rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's 15 vertical and then across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's 15 by 15. So it's a square. So in Paint.net, I'm going to create a new document, and I'm going to zoom all the way in with the zoom tool, which is here at the bottom. If you can't see it, it's right here. I'm going to zoom all the way in, and if I don't see my grid, turn my grid on, and I'm going to create a grid. I'm going to just start, and I'm going to choose a color that is not in my drawing. So in this particular drawing, it's a yellow face with yellow, black, and white. So I'm going to choose a color that is not any of those colors. I'm going to go with green. I'm going to make a 15 by 15 square right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And once you've got your two sides, it's real easy to just draw the line and then connect it using your eye without having to count them. So I have my square. Now I can build out my design from this basic layout. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at that picture and see where's the starting point. I can see that the black starts on the top, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting at 6, there's black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 over, there are 5. So I'm going to go starting from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to switch to black. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my top of my area. I've got those particular 5 dots. And I'm going to do this on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 down, and it's going to be 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to go 5 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be the same on this side. And it's going to be the same on the bottom. And that's going to help me get started. And I'm going to do all of my design by looking back at the picture. You can copy and paste the picture and shrink it down so you can see it. That's actually a great idea. I'm going to just do that. Copy image. And I'll go back in. I'm going to paste that. It's very big, so I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole thing here. And I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to hold the Shift key. And I'm going to use my arrows so I can get it up there because it's so small that I need to get it back up. So I'm using the arrow keys to let it move once it's selected. Then I'm going to zoom in and I'll shrink it down some more. Okay, so see this? I'm going to give myself a nice, I'm holding the Shift key when I shrink it. This may or may not work for what I want, but I'm going to see. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Yeah, it kind of does. I can still see the grid. Kinda. Yeah, kind of works. Okay, so I can see it. And now I'm going to try and recreate it, and yeah, that helps. You could do that, or you could just look at the picture, have it open side by side. All right, tip number 2, the color picker tool. This is an awesome tool, and it helps you if you want to get the exact colors that you saw in the image you're using, this is how you do it. Or if you want to find cool colors and incorporate them into your design. So what I'll do is I'm going to find a picture that has, okay, this is that picture has a lot of colors in it. Okay, Perry the Platypus. So I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to come back over to Paint.net, and I'm going to go to File, New. Whenever you do File, New, you can click File, New, you can click the plus sign. Say OK. It's going to automatically create an image that's the exact size of the picture you copied. So I want to remake Perry the Platypus, but I want to get that color green, that cool green that's in his face. So I go back. I'm going to just start a new one here, and we'll just pretend that I've started on my Perry the Platypus. But I can't match that green exactly. I pick a green, and it's good, but it's not quite this green. So to get that green, you're going to use the color picker tool. Right here, it's called the color picker. The shortcut is K. If I click it, it selects it, and I just suck that color out by clicking it, and you'll see the color has changed. And I can do this for the orange, So I've got that color. I've got the brown of his hat, so I get that exact color of brown. So I'm going to start with the brown of the hat, and I'll come back over to the Perry the Platypus page that I was going to do. I select my pencil tool, and now I can draw his hat using the exact color, and then I can go back and I can pick the green color, and you can see the green color just change, and I go back to my pencil tool, and I can fill in that exact same color green, so I can get those colors that I really wanted to match because they already match together really well. So that's the color picker tool is awesome for that, and you can get the exact colors you want out of an image. Especially when you zoom in really close, you can see exactly what color you're getting. Tip number 3, erasing with the pencil tool. Look, you don't use the eraser to erase when you're doing pixel art like the way we're doing it. You're just going to use the pencil, and you're going to put it on whatever color the background is. In this case, it's white, and I use that to erase. If you use the eraser, it does kind of weird stuff, and I'm going to make the eraser a lot smaller so you can see the example here. But it erases to the background. It gets rid of your grid. You can't see your grid very clearly. So I am going to erase using the pencil tool. That's a real quick and easy tip. And finally, tip number 4, how to crop the image. You've got this giant document. So if you look here, I'm like, when you first come on, it's like you can't even see your pixel art because it's so small. And the magnifying glass, by the way, is a great way to click and drag a square, and it will pop in right to there. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the selection tool, the selection rectangle select, and I'm going to drag it around the stuff that I'm working on here. Maybe I want to give myself a little extra space. And then we're going to use the crop tool, which is right here under layers. And when you do is that crops everything else out. It cuts everything else out and just leaves that. So boom, now when I look at this document, it's going to be real easy to see that I'm working on whatever I'm working on, and I can zoom in. And so when you're working in pixel art with tiny little images, cropping is just a great tool. It's actually a great way to fix a picture too. If you've got a picture that you need to get extra stuff out of, cropping is a great way to, like, you know, you see your friends, and then over here it's just like a car or something. Just crop your friends so that they're the ones in the picture. And that most photo programs have the ability to crop. And that's today's 4 tips. Hopefully that's not too much information, or maybe it's enough. If you have other tips that you'd like to share or that you would recommend, please leave a comment. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. I'm Mr. Giles with a few words of wisdom.